So the next thing you want to do is you want to melt your butter. So I'm going to turn my butter on and get it started melting. I'm going to put it on low so it doesn't burn. And then I'm going to show you how easy it is to whip up the cornbread. So the first thing you need is a bowl with a sieve, right? And we're going to mix our ingredients together. So I'm just going to move this to the side. And when you're making your cornbread, ladies, you definitely don't want to use, I got my ingredients, my utensils back here. You don't want to scoop. You don't want to use the scoop method because then you're going to get more than what you're looking for. You want to lightly spoon and level. So when I make my cornbread, and this is why it turns out fabulous every time, turn that down, I take the time to fluff up my flour. That's my butter. I'm going to turn that down some. And then I'm going to turn it off. Okay. So I lightly spoon the flour into the cup. And I overfill. And then I tap it with the back of a butter knife. And I level it off. And that's it. 1 cup of flour. Alright, put my lid back on there. My daughter's going to stay focused on the flour. I'm going to move this out my way. The next ingredient you need, 1/4 cup of sugar. Same thing, and I use these lovely Lock and Locks from QVC. I love these things for my smaller size that I refill from my big 50-pound buckets. Same thing again. I spoon my flour, my sugar in, 1/4 cup of sugar. I level it off, I add it, and that's it. Put my lid on, and as you see I have it nicely labeled, sugar. Get that out the way, and then the next ingredient you need is your cornmeal. Now I use yellow cornmeal. If you want to use white cornmeal you can, but most people use yellow cornmeal. Same thing with your cornmeal, you want to fluff it up. Get your spoon in there and give it a light toss because it's been set and settled down. So I spoon my cornmeal in there. And I want to keep an eye on my butter, so I am looking back toward my butter. Making sure it doesn't get brown because I don't want burnt butter. I just want melted butter. Okay? So I'll overfill that. Back of your knife. Tap. Level it off. Add it to your sieve. Alrighty, that's our third ingredient. First ingredient was flour, one cup of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 cup of cornmeal. I'm going to move this out the way. Be right back. Alrighty, so we got those out the way. Our next ingredient, kosher salt. You want 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. This is not the right teaspoon, so I'm going to get that. 1/4, because that's not 1/4, that was 1/8. Alright, so you want 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. With the salt, I give it a light fluff, tap it on the side, sprinkle it in. That's all the salt you need. Alright, move that out my way. The next thing you need is baking powder. And you want to make sure that you check the date on your baking powder. Do not try to make this cornbread with baking powder that you've had in your cabinet for over a year. You want to make sure you're using fresh baking powder. And when you start following my videos and you bake along with me, you will go through a lot of baking powder because I bake everything from scratch. Breads, muffins, cakes, cookies, you name it. So you want 4 teaspoons. You want to get the light? Oh, thank you, baby. 4 teaspoons of baking powder. So you fluff up your baking powder like so. You level it off. That's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn my butter off because it's melted. And 4. And that's it. Alrighty. Move that out the way. And you just want to sift. Now, I keep my hand still and I bring the sifter to my hand. And it creates a little cloud dust. I'm going to have flour in my hair. Alrighty. And that's what you don't want. You don't want those leftovers, the little lumps. That's why we sift. So we're going to toss that to the side. Alrighty. So all that's done, I can put that right in the sink. The next thing I do is I give my dry ingredients a little stir before I add the milk, the butter, and the eggs. And the purpose of that is because I don't want tough bread. I want light, moist cornbread. So I'm just going to give it a little stir to mix all my ingredients through. Okay, good enough. Alrighty, top that off. And we already got my eggs. I cracked them before. So, got my organic eggs. So next, I'm going to use my whisk. And I'm going to give my eggs a little beaten. And I'm going to dump that in there. Just like that. That's just how easy it is. It's not even complicated. And then you know exactly what's in your cornbread. This is 3/4 cups of organic milk. And you know to use a measuring cup, a liquid measuring cup. So I add that in there, and I'm going to give that a stir. And I'm going to stir and I'm going to let it sit. Now don't that look just like the Jiffy Mix you make in that box? So I'm going to let that sit a second. And the thing about homemade cornbread, the thickness of it depends on how humid it is in your house. Today it's a little hot in here. We need to turn the air on. So I might add a little bit more milk, or I might add some sour cream for moistness. So my butter looks about ready. So I'm going to grab my scraper. And you want to make sure it's cool too, because you don't want your eggs to curdle. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to grab a little bit more milk. And I'm going to add just a tinge more milk because it's not as loose as I like to see it. And remember, you can always add milk. You can't take out. So you want to be careful and add just a little at a time, because you can add, but you can't take out. Okay, that's much better. That's what I want to see. Because that cornmeal and that flour is going to absorb the milk as it sits. And I want it to sit so the grains in the cornmeal can get soft. So now I'm going to add that whole stick of butter. Now if you have a butter problem, this ain't the channel to watch. I use a lot of butter. And this is unsalted butter. I buy it by the 4-pack at Sam's Club. Seems to be the best deal, or at Costco. Alright, we're going to get rid of that. So we're going to mix our butter in. Try not to overwork it, overmix it. Less is more. You want to work it just enough to incorporate the ingredients. Because it don't take all that hard mixing. It's not a workout. It's just cornbread. Okay. See how that looks? That's exactly how you want it. And see how easy that was? Using ingredients you already have in your house. You didn't have to go out and buy anything else special. Okay. So I'm going to let that sit for a second. I thought I heard my oven beep. I'm going to grab a bowl scraper. I'm going to bring my pan over. I'm going to give this another little zhuzh, a little swirl, I guess. And I'm going to tap that out. And then, I love these little handy bowl scrapers. They cost like 99 cents at Bed Bath & Beyond. But it helps you get every little morsel out the bowl. So we're just going to pour that right on in. Okay. I'm going to get all my little crumbs and extras out the bowl. See, now we got every little drop. And I'm going to use this to even it out. Okay. Don't have to be fancy, it's just cornbread. Okay, and now we're ready for the oven. I think I heard my oven beep. Yep, the preheat light is off. So this is going in the oven. Back in 30 minutes, it'll be done. So see how easy and simple it was to make that simple cornbread using ingredients you already have in your home. Don't waste your money on buying Jiffy Mix. I know you say it's only 49 cents. Maybe I can get it free with a coupon. But if you get it free with a coupon, you know I'm all for that. But if you're going to buy separate Jiffy Mix, but at the same time you're buying flour because they're in the same aisle, you're wasting your money. And 49 cents may not mean much today, but over time that does add up. Use these simple steps and ingredients to make delicious homemade cornbread. We'll be back in 25 minutes to take it out the oven and show you how moist and delicious it is.